Hello guys, we're going to talk a crime thriller film called Kidnapping Stella from 2019. A lot of interesting things are waiting for you. The movie begins with two criminals recently released from prison deciding to kidnap the daughter of a wealthy businessman. In preparation for the crime, they steal a car and change the license plate. Going to the nearest hardware store, they buy plastic wrap, barn locks, soundproofing material, and other improvised devices. After renting an apartment, they prepare a room where they will keep the kidnapped girl and arrange a place to hand over the ransom in advance. Once they arrive, they wait for their victim. The guys put on masks so that no one recognizes them. After that, they kidnap a girl who is walking calmly down the street. After pushing her into the car, the kidnappers drive to a pre-prepared apartment and tie the victim to the bed. After cutting off all the extra clothes and removing the SIM card from the phone, they change the girl into a tracksuit. The gag in her mouth prevents her from screaming, and Stella cannot see anything because of the bag on her head. A few minutes later, the kidnappers return to her and demand her father's email and cell phone number to demand a ransom. After taking a few photos of the girl against a fresh newspaper, Vic copies them to a flash drive and leaves. Tom has to keep an eye on Stella and check on her every 10 minutes to make sure she doesn't suffocate. Sometime later, Vic returns to the apartment and contacts the girl's father. He has bought several cell phones and fake SIM cards so that the police cannot trace them. Entering the kidnapped girl's room, Vic offers her a few sips of water, but on the condition that she does not scream. She promised to keep quiet, but as a result, the girl starts screaming as soon as she gets the chance. The guy once again reminded her of the rules of behavior and demanded that she follow them if she wanted to stay alive. If the girl wants to go to the toilet, she has to make a special gesture with her hand. Having learned the rules, Stella immediately shows a special gesture and one finger. Tom brings her a special container, and Vic pulls down the girl's pants. Realizing that no one was going to untie her, Stella relaxed and did her job. During lunch, Tom refuses to eat because he has no appetite. Vic believes that the lack of appetite is stressful, which negatively affects their work and can put their case at risk. He forces his partner to eat and to stop thinking about feeling sorry for the girl or changing anything. Vic goes out again, and Tom looks at the photo and stares into Stella's frightened eyes. Deciding to visit the girl, he puts on a mask and enters her room. She has to pee again, but this time she gives him 2 fingers. Taking a bucket and toilet paper, the kidnapper partially frees her from her shackles. Stella is embarrassed and asks the guy to turn away, but she uses this to attack him and grab his gun. Tom offers to take her keys and attacks the girl, but she manages to shoot, stunning the guy. When she takes off the mask, she sees that her ex-boyfriend, whom she broke up with 4 months ago, was hiding under it. She wants to tell him something important, but Tom attacks her again and handcuffs her to the bed. Back at the apartment, Vic talks about how Stella's father refused to pay the money. Vic suggests that Tom get some rest. A little later, he asks the boy to help him record a video message that will convince the businessman to pay the required amount. Vic wants to lose the girl's finger, and he is preparing everything for this. Stella begs her father to help her and apologizes for her behavior, saying that she has been pregnant for 4 months. After making a simple math calculation, Tom stops the accomplice, believing that the threatening video will be enough. Back in the room, Vic tries to feed the girl, and Tom notices a shell casing lying next to the bed. He tries to pick it up, but this arouses his partner's suspicion. Seizing the opportunity, Tom picks up the shell casing and the fallen spoon. He puts the evidence in his pocket. Locking himself in the bathroom, he tries to drown the shell casing, but nothing happens. His partner suspects something is wrong and starts to break into the room. Realizing that he has no other choice, Tom swallows the shell casing. Vic calms down, thinking that his friend was just nervous and under a lot of stress. As soon as the accomplice goes to an internet cafe to send the video, Tom goes back to the girl's room. He does not believe she is pregnant, and after stroking her stomach, he is finally convinced that she is lying. Stella offers to check her phone because it is full of calls to the gynecologist. But Tom is not that stupid. If he inserts a SIM card, the police will instantly track them down and catch them in the act. When Tom returns to the room, he sees that the girl is sick and he frees her. She hugs her former lover and starts kissing him. But the girl uses this as a distraction and chains the guy's hand. Stella tries to escape, but the door is locked and she has no keys. Then she calls the police, but because of the delay, she realizes that there is no hope for them either. Noticing the keys near the house, she tries to collect them, but the guy rips out a piece of the bed frame and beats her from head to toe. After strapping Stella to the bed, he puts everything back in its place before Vic arrives. The accomplice has returned with good news. The father has responded to the message and is willing to pay 4 million euros. Going down to the parking lot, Tom drives the car closer to the exit and notices things on the floor that have fallen out of the girl's bag. Among them, he finds a medical card confirming Stella's due date and pregnancy. Realizing that it is his child, he wants to help the girl, but he cannot go against a more authoritative accomplice. Meanwhile, Vic finds Stella's cell phone and threatens her to tell him how she got the phone. It turns out that she is Tom's ex-girlfriend and was not a random victim. Finding a bullet in the insulation material, Vic is ready to shoot the girl if she doesn't tell him what really happened. Fearful for her life, Stella tells him everything that happened before he arrived. After meeting with his accomplice, Vic asks Tom if he is completely honest with him. The guy is afraid for his life and does not tell him about the incident, but this only makes things worse. After putting the girl to sleep, the kidnappers take her to an old boathouse and chain her to a wooden pillar. Tom was supposed to keep an eye on the girl, but Vic offers to go with him. Arriving at the pre-designated place, Tom goes to the hiding place and sees that it is empty. It turned out that the accomplice had given the girl's father other coordinates and lured the boy here to finish him off. Using a distraction, Tom tries to escape, but his partner manages to wound the boy before he can get away. After taking the money, Vic decides to return to Ailing and eliminate the girl because she knows his real name and can tell the police. Arriving at the old building, he is about to inject the girl with a lethal poison, but the wounded Tom returns in time and hits his accomplice in the head. Vic shoots the guy again and wants to finish him off, but Stella helps disarm the kidnapper. Grabbing the gun that fell to the floor, Tom kills his partner. With the last of his strength, he crawls to Vic's body and finds the keys. He throws the keys towards Stella so she can free herself. Removing the handcuffs and collar, she tries to help Tom, but only watches him slowly die. When she gets outside, she spots Vic's car and heads for it. Sitting behind the wheel, Stella tries to recover and calm down when she suddenly sees a bag of money on the passenger seat. Delighted with this generous reward, she realizes that she can start her life from scratch, providing for herself and her new baby. Gathering all her will in a fist, she drives towards a happy future.